Hey guys, welcome back to Girl Get Visible. We are here talking about your tech stack and your workflow for your speaker, right? So if you are a speaker, you want to be a professional paid speaker, you need to have a business back end, right? A lot of people are getting out there like, I'm just going to pitch myself to speak, or somebody asked me to speak. I'm going to sign up for all these speaking engagements, and I don't have any type of backflow. Back in any type of workflow, any type of anything. I'm just kind of out there showing up, delivering amazing things, walking away, and in the back, it is messy, Betsy all over the place. So I am here today. We're going to talk about the tech stack and the workflow that every speaker needs in their business. If you are not familiar with me, I am Akila Thompkins-Robinson. This is Girl Get Visible, and I am helping you to find the tech solutions to enable your business and marketing strategies. And tech stacks and workflows are one. So late last year, I did a post on my Facebook page, a couple of posts, a series of posts on my Facebook page that kind of blew up about the different type of tech tools you should use based on the type of business you had. So I did one for speakers, one for podcasters, one for content creators, coaches, health and wellness, spiritual healing, like all kinds of different businesses, because I know from working with businesses for over 20 years, I've been in technology and working with various size companies and various type of companies that not everybody needs the same thing. So when you're looking at that advice that says, hey, everybody should go get Canva, or everybody should go get Thrivecard, while it sounds all good, right? It sounds nice. But for the most part, it may not be what you need in your company. And so while it sounds good, it may not be what's best for you. And so looking at your tech based on what you're doing, based on your industry, your products, is really how you want to start thinking about your tech stack. And so I thought, A, I'd put out these lists, which were very, very helpful. But B, now we are here on YouTube going through each of those various tech stacks. And if you want to see all the others, I'm starting to create videos for each and every one of them. And so you can go back and look at those videos. So the first thing when we were talking about a tech stack, most important thing other than knowing your niche of your business is to really hone in on what type of products you want to offer. And I'm going to say this especially for speakers, because while I'll be talking about the speaker flow of getting from booked and paid and getting to the event, you also want to consider what you're going to sell at that event. So you may need a combo. You may need like this one and digital products or physical products. Like you may need a combo of different workflows and tech stacks to put together, because you have not just selling of yourself to be on the stage. Usually once you're on the stage or some part of the process, you also have either a pitch that you're going to do, or you're going to give them a QR code to download something that's going to lead to something. You also have that back end of the follow-up sale as well. So we're going to focus mostly on the getting you on stage, but know that there's a follow-up sale. And if you want a whole tech stock on that, make sure you tell me in the comments and I'll make sure you get one of them. So now that we know what we're doing, we know what we want to sell, what our products are. The next thing you need to consider is the different areas that you need to get a tool in. So there are 4 key areas that every business needs to have some type of tool in their tech stack. There are other business related tools, so there's HR tools, your finance tools, and all those tools. That's not this. We're talking about really how you're getting people into it and how you're delivering it and getting money from this, right? How are you going to make the profits from that in this tech stack? So let's start with the 4 areas. So first one is marketing. Marketing is the biggest and probably the most important for a lot of people, especially just getting started, because you're just trying to get your name out there. So you need those tools that are going to help you with the content creation and help you with the distribution and scheduling of all of your marketing materials. And so we'll talk about the tools that go with that. Then you need some type of sales tool. So you need something that is going to help you make the money, right? That could be your sales page. That could be your invoices. What is the thing that's going to be the button or the thing that they need to click in order to bring in the actual revenue, to seal the deal, make it the sale, right? Then your third type of system is going to be your delivery system. So what is the process for making sure that they get what they paid for? So whether it's a speaking engagement, hopefully you send out some type of pre-kit or thank you or something, making sure that you then show up for the event on time, or whatever that happens, whatever those deliverables are after, if they want analytics or if they want decks or whatever you guys agree to. But you want to make sure that you deliver on those contracts when you are out there doing speaking, especially for paid speaking, right? And then you're back in tracking, because one thing I know about speakers and every speaker I work with, there are a lot of moving parts. A lot of speakers at least have one or two people on their team that's assisting with follow up or working on their slides, all other type of stuff. You need that back end system to help that part of the workflow and to see what's going on. Because unlike a lot of our product based businesses or even our digital businesses, where you could see that the sales coming in every day, speakers are more of a pipeline because you're only going to do but so many engagements at one time. Usually they're booking months out. So you need to know what you're not free for 6 months from now so that you can bring in the new contract or not. You need to know if you got nothing coming up for the end of the year so you can maybe do some heavy pushes to get people in there. So that whole back end is even more important because literally that's the part of your business you're seeing the most, because speaking only happens a couple of times, but being in that back end and making sure you've got people coming in the pipeline and getting out the pipeline and all of that type of stuff is really going to be important for a speaker business. So now that we know our 4 areas that we need tools in, let's start putting in some tools. So the easiest one and probably the most tools you'll use is always going to be your marketing. Usually if you watch some of the others, I start with Canva because it's so great. But for our speakers, let me tell you, you need, I'm going to be all big for you. You need Opus clips, right? Here's the reason why, because you're a speaker, people want to see you speak. Your marketing should really be around you speaking, as many clips of you on stage, talking to people, being with people, sharing that experience of what it's like to have you in a room is more important than that educational content. That's a whole nother story, but that's more important than educational content. For speakers, you need Opus Clip. Opus Clip is going to take your long videos wherever you do. A lot of these clips that you see from me are coming from Opus Clips. Going to take those long videos and break them up to smaller videos. And it uses AI to make sure it's got like the right hooks and all kinds of things, puts captions on them, and you can literally download from Opus Clips and put them right up into the next tool we're going to talk about, which is Metricool, right? Metricool is the scheduler of your dreams. Just gonna say that. Scheduler team. And don't worry, we don't have links to all these. All of these will have links down in the description. So just listen to what you do with them for now, and then we'll get to that part later, right? So Metricool is the scheduler of your dreams because it is going to let you schedule across all of your platforms, the LinkedIns, the TikToks, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Pinterest. Every single one of them, you can put them in Metricool and you can schedule to those. You can also run multiple brands. So if you're a person like me, who not only do I have my company, I've got my software company, I have all these multiple micro brands that we do within our company. That's pretty much our products are those micro brands. And Metricool lets us do all of that. And I say us because the other thing Metricool lets me do is have my team participate in all of that. So we do the creation and then we get on the Metricool and they do all the scheduling there. They don't need to have access to all of the different pages, which is great if you have a multinational team where people are in different locations and locations get kind of funky in some of these social media. So that's the next thing you're going to need for your marketing. The next thing you're going to need too, Synfox. Synfox is for email marketing. So this is a very nice and simplistic email marketing platform. Is one-time fee, which is really nice too. So you don't have to every month worry about the list. You can do, my list is up between 4 to 5,000. So it can handle a pretty good list. You could do segments, you can do automations, you can do a lot of different things just using Synfox, which is nice. And then last but not least, in our marketing, I'm going to bring on over our Content Hub, because when you're using all of these, you need something like this to keep track of it and to know like, well, my ideas start out in the Content Hub and then they go from idea to research to creation to post to schedule to doing the analytics and knowing what we should redo and share. This is really important for speakers because not only are you doing your regular content just for people to see you, but you're also probably marketing any events that you have coming up. A lot of times people will send you promo materials. You may not need them right now. So say if the event is in 6 months, you may not need to start posting it now, but you want to put this on in your Content Hub and give it a date so that you know in 4 months, so as you're starting to lead up to the event, to start creating this content. So you can use your Content Hub to keep track of that, all the things that are coming down the pipeline that are going to need to be promoted and scheduled in your marketing. That Content Hub is going to help you keep all those things together. The next one area we're going to talk about are the sales. So I'm going to say it again, your sales are different, right? Everything's sometimes a little bit different for my speakers because you're not out there. You may have a landing page, like I have a speakers page, but I know most people are just going to use that for information purposes. My real, when people are ready to buy, is they're going to receive an invoice, or we're going to set up a call and receive the invoice. If I just want them to set up a call, I can use Sweet Dash, which is my go-to for something like this, because in Sweet Dash, the Sweet Dash and Tidy Count do a lot of the same, but with Sweet Dash, it's all in one. So you'll see it does a couple of things. Tidy Count is just going to do this one thing, but this is going to be where you can schedule the initial call. So I'm going to use a scheduler, have a person come in, schedule a call. We're going to talk about the event, agree to whatever terms we talk about. And then I'm going to send them an invoice, right? I'm going to send them an invoice of Sweet Dash that says here, this is your first installment of your payment, or this is the payment. They're going to pay that invoice. And then that's going to kick off a whole automation that is going to help Sweet Dash also help me with the delivery. And the delivery for speakers is showing up. But you don't just show up. You don't just show up with nothing, right? You first have to do a deck and make sure, whatever materials you have. If you do plan on pitching or something, you want to make sure you bring that together. You want to make sure that promotion is happening. So we create like a project plan for each of our speaking events. And in Sweet Dash, once you pay that invoice, it's going to kick off that project plan, and I can go in there and now know all the things leading up to the event that need to be done. And even the things wrapping it up. Like if I want to send a thank you card and all that stuff, I can do all of that. Sweet Dash is going to help me to facilitate all of that style of work. And so that's why Sweet Dash is not just my sales, it is also my delivery system. And while we're doing all that, I'm going to throw this one back in here too. Sweet Dash is going to help me with my backend because it is a project management system and a customer relationship management system. So if I lead a P or project management or a CRM, all that's going to be in Sweet Dash where I can track who did book me this year. Let me reach out to them and see if they're doing that event next year. See if they still need speakers or anything like that. The other alternative to this system is Flowloo, and they actually can do both delivery and the back end. The only thing I don't use Flowloo for, I use Flowloo more because our whole company is in Flowloo. But the only thing I don't like Flowloo, they have invoices, but I don't like them as much. So that's why we're not going to count it as the sales. And they don't have those sales pages, which is to me very important that people can see some information before they just, sign up for something. So that would be my alternative to Sweet Dash. But as you can see, Sweet Dash is really good for speakers. So if you're a speaker and you just need that vanilla workflow, all the things, Sweet Dash is going to be the sweet spot for you. And if you need an alternative that maybe you already have Tidy Cow, you don't really want all of that, Flowloo is another really good option there. Flowloo also does not have the scheduling, which is why I did not keep it on Sweet Dash. I like that appointment scheduler that Sweet Dash has as well. So those are the tools. You don't need a lot of extras. Yes, there are other things, that this whole little tools we did not use, right? Yes, there are other things you can do. Yes, there are other things you can have. And like I mentioned, this is not the back end how you sell your product, right? Some people do speaking engagements and they might need school later on. So imagine there's a little line that this is before you get to the event. This is after you get to the event and how you sell your products, right? But that gets into how you're going to sell in-person, digital products, whatever you're going to do once you're at the event. But this whole process here is really leading us up to the event, that whole process of getting everything together and making sure not just that you can show up and talk and deliver the actual talk, but you also deliver a good experience for that person who's hiring you. You deliver a great experience for yourself because you're less stressed and everything is done. And your team, because I know you're going to get a team, your team is able to jump in and help you because all of these tools, you can have more than one. You can have multiple people in your team. You're going to move school over. You got multiple people on your team coming in and doing the different parts and the different tasks that need to be done to get through the process. So if you have any questions about this tech stack or any of the others, if you look on the page, we've now gone through about, I think, 3 or 4 other tech stacks. We did course creators and coaches. We did coaches and consultants. We've done podcasters is coming. So for all those tech stacks that I did at the end of the year, we're doing a video for those as well. If you don't see yours, put that in the comment and I'll make sure that we create a video to go with your tech stack and what you should be looking at. And if you need help with your tech stack, you can always join me for one of our one-on-one strategy sessions. and I can help you talk through your individual use case, or you can sign up for one of our Build It workshop weekends where we actually build this out, right? So no need for you to try to figure it all out by yourself. Join one of those workshops, and in 2 days, we build out your workflow. So on Monday, you've got a whole new system in your business that you can get started with. All right. See you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.